2025 has come to a close rather scarily quickly, but it has been a stellar year for music, from Rosalia's classically infused Lux to Addison Rae's Pop Perfect debut album. Here are my top 10 albums of the last 12 months. Obviously not every single album can fit into this list, so there will be a small section at the end with notable releases that I enjoyed, but that just didn't quite reach the list. Feel free to share your top albums down below to keep the conversation going. At number 10 is Lorde's Virgin, an album that feels less like a pop release and more like a personal rebirth. Following pure heroin, melodrama and their divisive solar power, Virgin sees Lorde once again capturing exactly where she is in life, but this time with an even greater sense of emotional risk and honesty. Written in the aftermath of a long-term breakup, Virgin explores independence, intimacy, gender expression and the idea of rebirth, redefining virginity not as sexual inexperience, but as beginning again. Sonically, it's Lorde's most experimental record to date, blending her trademark lyrical intimacy with new electronic textures, industrial synth moments and restrained human production alongside Jimmy Stack. Lead single What Was That acts as Supercut's grown-up sister, euphoric yet reflective, while tracks like Shapeshifter and Man of the Year confront identity, femininity and self-reinvention with striking vulnerability. Elsewhere, Favourite Daughter, Get Ready With Me and Clear Blue read like diary entries, tackling fame, generational trauma, womanhood and fear of full emotional exposure. At just 36 minutes, Virgin wastes no time. Every sound feels intentional, every lyric earned. It's raw, scaled back and deeply human. An album that rejects expectations of recreating past successes and instead stands firmly on its own. Virgin proves that Lorde isn't interested in repeating herself, she's interested in telling the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's what makes this record one of the most authentic releases of this year. Who knew 2025 would be Lady Gaga's and the Little Monsters year? Mayhem marked a triumphant return for Gaga, a bold, genre-blending statement that cemented her as one of 2025's most compelling pop stars. From the opening single Disease, a dramatic, electronic-infused exploration of inner demons and self-confrontation, to global hit Abracadabra, Gaga reminded listeners why she's been such a dominant force in pop for nearly 2 decades. Abracadabra in particular captured global attention with its catchy synth pop hooks and chart impact, proving her instincts are as sharp as ever. While Gaga's roots stem back to her early pop breakthrough with 2008's The Fame album, Mayhem feels far from simply relying on nostalgia. It's a confident, expansive album that showcases her ability to innovate while embracing her identity as one of pop's most theatrical and daring artists. At number 8 is Addison Rae's self-titled debut album, a project that successfully reintroduces her not just as a pop star, but as a credible artist. Led by the smash hit Diet Pepsi, Addison leaned into the light, airy vocals reminiscent of Lana Del Rey's Lust for Life era, pairing lo-fi and R&B textures with nostalgic teenage romance storytelling. The single worked exactly as intended, wiping the slate clean on her past music ventures and positioning her as someone to be taken seriously. Follow-ups like Aquamarine and High Fashion showed a clear artistic evolution from Madonna-esque, dance-driven euphoria to moody, introspective pop. Tracks like Fame is a Gun explore Addison's complicated relationship with the celebrity title, while In the Rain and Times Like These reveal moments of vulnerability, touching on imposter syndrome and the pressure of public perception. What makes this debut so strong is its cohesion, not by genre but by feeling. It's central, heady, occasionally euphoric, and deeply aware of pop's history while still feeling current. This album proves she's stepped out of the TikTok box and into her pop princess era, and it's working beautifully. At number 7 is Jade's explosive debut, That's Showbiz Baby. one of 2025's most celebrated pop albums. After years in the spotlight through Little Mix, Jade stepped out with a bold solo vision that critics and fans alike have praised for its originality, emotional songwriting, and eclectic feel. What sets That Showbiz Baby apart as my favourite debut album from the year is how confidently it balances glamour with grit. The lead single Angel of My Dreams became a defining track for the album overall, an unpredictable, electrifying mix of celestial pop energy and sharp lyrical commentary that immediately signalled Jade's artistic independence and depth. The album spans a wide collection of sounds from disco-infused tracks like Unconditional to synth pop and expressive R&B, but it is all threaded together by her clear pop stardom and fearless creativity. 2025 was completely Olivia Dean's year, which is why her album The Art of Loving is here at number 6. The London singer-songwriter confirmed her status as British pop's most soulful rising star with her second album The Art of Loving. The album debuted at number 1 on the UK albums chart the same week her single Man I Need hit number 1 on the official singles chart, a rare double not seen since Adele. The Art of Loving is a mature leap forward from her 2023 debut Messy, blending lush jazz, neo-soul and timeless pop with candid, reflective songwriting. Dean's warm, supple vocals glide over elegant arrangements from Motown-tinged horns to piano and minimalist jazz inflections, creating a sound that feels both classic and contemporary. Lyrically, the album is about being okay on your own, learning from love and growing into yourself. Tracks like Baby Step capture that journey with affirmations of self-reliance and emotional recovery, while songs like Nice to Each Other and So Easy to Fall in Love marry upbeat grooves with thoughtful introspection. Beyond relationships, The Art of Loving resonates as a broader meditation on confidence, independence, and what it means to be a young woman in today's world. Powerful yet vulnerable, self-aware yet honest. The album is not just a step forward musically, but is a defining statement in Olivia's artistic evolution. At number 5 is Fred Again's USB 2, an ambitious second chapter in one of the most immersive music projects of the year. The English producer has spent 2025 redefining what an album rollout can be. Not just a set of songs, but a global time-based experience that blurred the lines between live performance, community and recorded music. Rather than dropping a traditional album all at once, Fred Again unveiled USB 2 across 10 weeks, 10 cities and 10 songs, with each new track debuting in tandem with a show around the world, creating a living, breathing narrative that connected the music to real-time moments and fan experiences. Fred's artistry thrives on a collection of styles, where techno pulse meets UK garage, experimental bass and euphoric hooks. All tracks are underpinned by his unmistakable production touch. The sheer breadth of voices and textures makes the project feel alive and unpredictable. Musically, USB 2 feels like a natural evolution from his Actual Life series, where Fred crafted songs around real people, moments and everyday life. While the Actual Life albums captured intimacy through samplings of ordinary experiences, USB 2 broadens the lens. It still celebrates human connection and spontaneity, but now framed through collaborative performances, expansive production, and immersive live moments. The warmth, vulnerability, and spontaneity that defined Actual Life are still present, making USB 2 feel like a strong, organic continuation of his artistic journey. USB 2 feels like a festival of ideas and sounds, and a reminder that Fred Again isn't just making tracks, he's inventing new ways for music to be released. Hayley Williams' Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party is a career-defining moment for the acclaimed lyricist and vocalist. Musically, the album doesn't stick to one lane, but moves fluidly through alternative pop, indie rock, dream pop, and even trip-hop inflected moments, all bound together by Williams' expansive vocal range and raw songwriting. The album is emotional, lyrically touching, and holds some fearless sonic choices, while Hayley powerfully explores identity, grief, heartbreak, and self-liberation, themes that resonate throughout tracks like Hard, Glum, and Blood Bros. One of the most striking things about Ego Death at a bachelorette party is how it balances experimental textures with deeply personal storytelling. It opens with confrontational, scaly synths, signalling Williams's toughened resilience, and moves through reflective confessions, moments of angst, and cathartic outbursts, all delivered with a fearless vocal presence. Whether you're drawn to indie-tinged rock moments or deeply felt lyricism, Ego Death feels like Hayley Williams fully owning her narrative creatively, emotionally, and on her own terms. At number 3 is FKA Twigs' Eusexia, one of the most ambitious, immersive, and critically celebrated albums of 2025. Built around a feeling of clarity, connection through the body, the spirit, and the dance floor, Eusexia sees Twigs fully committed to club-rooted electronic music, while maintaining her signature emotional vulnerability. Across the record, techno, house, and experimental pop collide with whispered vocals and moments of pure transcendence, turning the dance floor into a place of release and revelation. What elevates Eusexia even further is how the world she created didn't end with its initial release. The November re-release expanded the album's universe, adding tracks like The Dare, Got to Feel, and Lonely But Exciting Road, songs that lean deeper into movement, sensation, and emotional surrender. Rather than feeling like leftover cuts, these tracks reinforce the album's core ideas, extending its physical and spiritual momentum. And then came Afterglow, a surprise second album that feels less like a follow-up and more like a new era born from the same emotional ecosystem. Where Eusexia pulses with urgency and release, Afterglow is softer, warmer, and more reflective, carrying the same themes of connection, desire, and self-understanding, but viewed through a gentler, more settled lens. Together, the two projects form a complete arc, the peak, the release, and the calm that follows. In a year stacked with major releases, FKA Twigs didn't just drop one of the best albums of 2025, she built a living, breathing world, evolving it in real time and proving once again why she remains one of the most visionary artists working today. At number 2 is Sincerely, Kali Uchis' breathtaking 2025 release, and honestly it owned this list all year until November came along, which is a little hint about what might be at the number 1 spot. Sincerely is a departure from the rhythmic Latin influences of her previous work, trading bouncy reggaeton for a dreamy neo-soul and down-tempo pop palette that feels like a warm, elegant embrace. Its production wraps lush strings, soft percussion, and shimmering synths around Uchis' honeyed vocals, creating a soundscape that feels like a sanctuary of love, healing, and introspection. Across 14 tracks, the theme is clear: love as solace and strength. Whether reveling in devotion on All I Can Say, exploring tender vulnerability in Fall Apart, or celebrating quiet intimacy in Sunshine and Rain, Uchis crafts a record that's calming, elegant, and deeply human, a safety net in chaotic times. What I also love about this album personally is the cohesiveness of the tracks. It's best experienced as a full journey rather than fragmented singles, with each song beautifully leading into the next. Sincerely is a personal letter to the world, signed with heart and honesty. At number 1 is Rosalia's Lux, and honestly, nothing else could have taken this spot. Released last month, Lux is Rosalia's 4th studio album and the most daring, expansive, and spiritually charged work of her career. Across Lux, Rosalia sings in 13 languages, an almost unheard of artistic feat that transforms the album into something borderless, devotional, and global. Sonically, Lux exists at the intersection of avant-garde pop, classical music, opera, and orchestral composition. Structured in 4 movements, like a 19th century classical work, the album blends Catalan choirs, the London Symphony Choir, experimental producers, and arrangements from Caroline Shaw, all while keeping Rosalia's voice as the emotional and spiritual centre. Thematically, Lux is a meditation on the human condition: love, betrayal, devotion, forgiveness, faith, ego, and transcendence. What makes Lux so extraordinary is that it never feels academic or distant. For all its grandeur, It remains deeply human with Rosalia's raw voice, restrained moments and vulnerable lyricism. It's an album about rebirth without pretending rebirth is painless. By the time it closes, Rosalia doesn't ascend, she returns changed. Lux isn't just the best album of 2025, it's a career-defining statement and an album we will remember for years to come. A record where pop, religion and art converge, and where Rosalia proves she isn't just shaping modern music, she's redefining what it can hold. In 2025, we were not in shortage of great music. 10 spots is not enough to sum up how brilliant this year has been for music. So here are other notable releases that I really enjoyed, but that just didn't quite make the list. Sabrina Carpenter came through with her cheeky pop smash, Man's Best Friend, in August. Rap duo Party of Two released America's Next Top Party, a modern retelling of 90s rap and R&B. Lily Allen came back to music this October with her emotionally charged West End Girl, which has now seen her sell out the O2 next year. The Last Dinner Party continued their streak of critical acclaim with second album From the Pyre. We were continuing our summer parties with Zara Larsson's Midnight Sun. New York's heartthrob Somber released his debut album I Barely Know Her, proving he is more than just a TikTok musician. Cat's Eye proved they are here to stay with their EP Beautiful Chaos. Ketama had us being transported to raves in our bedrooms with Archangel. Pink Pantheress took us back to the noughties with Fancy That. Bad Bunny made the world fall in love with him even more with his latest release, and Blood Orange continued to blend genres on Essex Honey. I look forward to seeing what 2026 brings for the world of music, with exciting releases in the pipeline from Ray, Charlie XCX turning to soundtracks with the Wuthering Heights soundtrack coming in February, and indie rock band Gorillaz releasing their newest piece of work in March. It is bound to be another incredible year for music. I also want to take a moment to thank my viewers for the amazing 2025 we have had together. My channel grew more than I expected, and I want to specifically shout out the Little Monsters who made my Mayhem review the most viewed video on my channel this far. I love talking about music and building this community that we have here, and in 2026 I have a lot of new exciting content planned and ways to expand on this beautiful foundation we have built. I'll be doing a bit of a digital detox over Christmas and New Year, but I'll be back on January 10th with our first 2026 video. If you want in the meantime to check out my Substack, there will be a blog post going live with this video with my 25 best albums of 2025, as well as next Saturday there being my 10 best pop singles from 2025 going up as well. I wish you all a lovely holiday season. Thank you again and see you in the new year.